Are you ready for something like that, or should I avoid it?
I don't know. Well, you already mentioned it now, so you might as well go ahead and tell the story.
Even though I mentioned it, I'm not even sure I should actually broadcast this story. It's not right. It sounds actually impossible. So you know what? I'll give you the headline here, Trent, and you tell me if you want to continue and go on. Okay?
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Here we go. Here's your headline: Man undergoes surgery after reportedly pooping out of his penis and ejaculating from his bum for 2 years. That's literally the headline. It's the worst story of all time. Trent, should we go on?
I don't know what to say about that one, man. Me personally, if I was on a news site and reading this, I would probably not read on just because number one, it sounds painful, and number two, I can't really put it
That's
into
a good
words.
point.
But
I got to be honest, if I saw this headline and I'm reading, I probably would go on. I'd have to keep reading. Because it just seems like this has to be clickbait. There's no way this is real. Is this? But no, it is real. It is very, very real. It was a 33-year-old man, Trent. He had suffered from a series of peculiar medical issues for 2 years, including, it's horrible to say, but including fecal matter in his urine,
ooh,
passing a substantial amount of urine and semen out of his butt. So it was reverse. It's so weird. I didn't even know something like this was possible. It's so horrible. Can you imagine?
no, I could not imagine it. It just like I said, it just sounds so painful to listen to it. I mean, it just sounds like fecal matter in the urine. I mean,
Fecal
wow.
matter in the urine, pee out of the butt. And of course, you would think, not surprisingly so, he eventually he looked for help after experiencing pain in his testicles from this whole.
Yeah, I can imagine.
He's got poop in his testicles. Think about this. Well, maybe you shouldn't think about this. But now tests showed, Trent, that he had a urinary. Why is this happening? Well, tests show that he had a urinary tract infection, as well as a problem with his rectal wall, whatever that is, a rectal wall.
All wow. Right? yeah. I've known several people who have endured urinary tract infections, and they are not fun, to say the least.
Yeah, but they probably didn't have a problem with their rectal wall, which led to an abnormal passageway between the urethra and rectum, through which the various fluids and solids had been passing. So an abnormal passageway developed, Trent. This is it keeps getting worse. But anyway, there was surgery. The medical team continued to check for other errors in the system. The medical team then got to work finding out the cause of the problem, ruling out possible infections such as tuberculosis, inflammatory bowel disease, things of that nature. The man also denied having suffered any kind of rectal trauma in recent memory, or having undergone, I'm not really laughing, I'm disturbed, or having undergone any abnormal surgeries in the past. However, and here we go, here's the big finish, eventually it was discovered that he had been in a 3-week coma following cocaine and PCP intoxication.
Oh no, so he overdosed.
So a night of cocaine and PCP led to pooping out of your penis. Trent, I just got to say, the key message in this entire story is say no to drugs. I mean, could you think of a better anti-drug campaign, ad campaign? Can you think of a better anti-drug campaign than, if you use drugs, you will poop out of your penis? I don't think anyone in the world would ever use drugs again if they knew, hey, if I use drugs right now, if I go take some PCP, I might be pooping out of my penis. Doesn't sound too good. No, you know what? I'm going to say no to drugs for sure. If I know, hey, you know what? I might start peeing out of my butt if I take some crack. I'm not taking crack. It's cocaine. It's not worth the poop heap.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not the poopy. The poopy, or it sounds like I'm saying poopy, but it's poopy. It's confusing. Anyway.
It is, and I mean, what a way to start the newscast.
I mean, think about it, Trent. Can you think of a better anti-drug campaign than poo-pee?
That would definitely move people away from doing drugs, I would think. I mean, I would hope.
I mean, I know already, Trent, you're not a person that uses drugs, but now you're definitely never going to use drugs, right?
I never dreamed of using drugs since the day I was born, and I will never, ever, ever use drugs, especially after hearing this. But even if I didn't hear this,
that's my point. Yep.
Even if I didn't hear this, they were never on my radar. So,
all right. Yeah. Well, you know, they were on my radar for like a minute there, but then I saw this story, Trent, and no drugs for me, guaranteed.
Hey, I want to keep my brain cells. Thank you.
I want to keep my poop going out in the right direction. That's what I want.
Yep.
Seriously, I need things to work properly, Trent. If not, it's what do you do with yourself? Come on.
Yeah.
I can't be having poop in my pee. It's ridiculous. Anyway,
sure.
Anything else to add to that one, Trent? That's like I said, I think that is a record story right there. That is one of the most horrible stories of all time ever reported on Super Radio Brothers. Something as horrible as that. To know that that can actually happen, that you could develop an abnormal passageway in which fluids, they don't know where they're going. Anyway, I can't think of a more horrible story. It's a true story, and you heard it here on the Super Radio Brothers.
Okay. Well, on that note, now we move from, people pooping out of, unusual places to now hearing about artificial intelligence,
Skynet, the death of humanity. Yeah, I know about AI. Thanks, Trent.
Yeah, AI, it's a very, very vital part of our lives. But now they can, apparently with this mobile app, artificial intelligence can identify people's poop better than patients can in terms of medical things. One app, it's called Dita Mobile, uses AI to describe poop more accurately than patients themselves. Okay.
No, I don't know. There's nobody, Trent. Nobody can describe their poop more accurately than me. And the shapes and this, it's just, I could describe a poop. Maybe what I'll do is tomorrow when the natural movements happen, I will record them through literature and I'll read it on the air about what I saw. It's like describing clouds. Sometimes clouds look like a boat or a plane or many different things. Well, it's the same with poop. There can be so much, Trent. So much.
Yeah.
The imagination.
Yeah. So it goes on to say that, you have your I don't know why you would want to take your phone into the bathroom, but anyway, they have your.
Everybody takes their phone into the bathroom. That's why it's the most dirtiest object in the entire world. How else are you going to spend a half an hour pooping?
Oh man, that's crazy. Okay. So according to this, the app, you can actually snap photos of your fecal matter, whatever you want to call it, while you're sitting on the toilet before you wipe. And then you can send it through the app to physicians, and physicians can tell exactly what your poop looks like. And, they can tell if it's normal because according to reports, they say poop that is normal looks like a piece of sausage with the crack in it.
Is that what a normal it looks like a sausage? A normal poop?
It looks like picture a piece of sausage with a crack in it. I mean,
with a crack in it. That's that casing, that's that special casing when you eat a good hot dog and it snaps,
Yes.
That's how you
Yes.
know your poop is proper. It's
Yeah, and
a
and a
sausage
lot
with
of
a crack in it.
and because of all of this, because of this application, it says that people are being diagnosed with more and more different things with what they have going on, like any like gastrointestinal stuff, irritable bowel syndrome. I mean, like I know you have diarrhea of the mouth, but I didn't know if you've ever had like irritable bowel syndrome or anything like that. That's just something. Sounds like something you may have experienced as life
It
goes
sounds
on.
like I sound like the type of person who's experienced irritable bowel syndrome.
Maybe.
Well,
You just never know.
I mean, I think everybody's had an upset stomach. Is that what that is? I don't even. I have to be. I'm not even sure what irritable bowel syndrome is. Maybe it's chronic bad feelings in the tummy. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I
Yeah,
don't
whenever you
chronically have that, but there have been occasions, Trent, after a good a chili dog where things aren't going right, and you gotta get somewhere quick. You know what I'm saying?
correct. Yes. I know exactly what you mean. But I mean it's just crazy. There are apps out for everything, and now when it comes to examining your fecal matter, there are apps that does that. And apparently, according to the reports, many people are using the app. And a lot of people are putting it to use.
I don't think I
Me
need the app now, Trent. I know now that if my poop does not look like a sausage with a crack in it, there might be a problem. There might be a problem.
I would say there's a very serious problem.
Yeah, my poop comes out looking like a pretzel. Well, how did that happen? First of all, and second of all, maybe I should call somebody. Maybe this
Remember?
is a problem. Maybe pretzel poop means I'm sick. Doesn't look like a
Yeah.
sausage. That looks like a pretzel.
This conversation making me sick right now.
So, no, and I think your story is informative, Trent, and important. People need to hear this.
Yes, yes, they do.
They do. It's very important. And people also need to know that man's best friend is man's best friend because dogs are awesome. I love
Yes.
animals, Trent. I'm a
I
big,
do too. I like animals a
big
lot.
animal dude. And, every dog you have, I've had plenty of dogs throughout my life. They all have different personalities and have individual traits that separate them. Well, this couple in Texas, their dog, their golden retriever Huckleberry, he's become well known in their neighborhood, Trent. You know why?
Why?
Because he likes to jump on the roof. This
Really?
dude gets on the roof and it freaks the neighbors out. They're passing by the house and they look up and these people have a dog on their roof. Like, what is that? That's not natural. That's just weird. So they keep ringing their bell. Hey, do you know there's a dog on your roof? And they have to explain how their golden retriever has a tendency to hang out on the roof of her house, and she has to assure them that he's safe and well taken care of. They had to put a sign out on their lawn, Trent, so that people stop ringing their bell, and the sign reads, "Huckleberry is living up to his name." And this, first of all, this sign is way too long. If you want to put a sign out that's going to get people's attention and stop them from going and ringing your bell, it's got to be 2 words. No soliciting, stay away, don't knock on my door. It's got to be a short message for people. This message is too long, but I'll read you the sign anyway.
Yeah, if you ever came to my house, I would put a sign just for you. It would be dedicated to you that said "Stay away." I put it on in front of on my front door.
Okay.
I'd say, "Quote: Stay away." End quote.
And I would know it was meant for me, and even though I obviously drove a long way, I would turn away and go back home, Trent.
That's sad.
With tears.
But you'd be very upset in the process.
Yes. The sign reads, Trent, "Huckleberry is living up to his name and learned how to jump onto our roof from the backyard. We never leave him in the backyard without someone being at home. He will not jump off unless you entice him with food or a ball." That's a pretty long, and it continues. "We appreciate your concern, but please do not knock on our door and we know he's up there, but please feel free to take pictures of him and share with the world. And it goes on. One neighbor had a very good question for them, Trent, related to poop news here. And the question was, has the dog ever pooped on the roof? And as a dog owner, I would tell you there's no doubt at some point that dog has pooped on your roof. It's just a dog gets somewhere new and they feel like they got to poop there. It's just it's what they think. And he joked. He said, "You know what? I was wondering why my gutters have been clogged and there aren't any trees around them." That's not funny. That's not.
Well, I mean, I have a dog. You know, I have my mother has a dog. It's a Chihuahua. And you know, he talks about, you know, pooping on the roof. He has pooped pretty much everywhere in the house. But if only he could get up on the roof. I mean, the thing about this dog is not trained. You know, the owners, aka, you know, my parents, did not necessarily do a great job of training him because they let him get away with certain things, and he's just learned, I can poop freely and everything, and he does. And I imagine if he could get up on the roof, he would be doing the same thing there. He'd just take it as just another day in paradise.
Well, when I first got my dog, Freya, the very first thing she did when we let her into the house was go into the bedroom and poop in our bedroom. That's the first thing Freya did. The very first thing she did coming into this house. Now, gladly, I can say that was the only time she has ever pooped in the house in 3 years. So, but in the backyard, there is not one spot in that backyard she has not pooped on, you know. And even we have a little vegetable garden there, Trent, with the tomatoes and the produce, and there's some hay there. And now she's gotten it in her that she wants to poop on the hay. So they like to poop wherever they can find something new, man. It's just.
Does she have anything to say about it right now?
No, she's kind of chill. She's just. I'm surprised. She's really relaxed right now.
So she doesn't know that you're talking about her.
Yeah. No, she's looking at me. She knows, but she's making sure I don't say anything particularly bad. She's actually, you know, dogs are proud of their poop. So she's like, "Oh, Dad's proud of me. He's talking about my poop, my doggy poop."
Oh, good for you.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
She's happy about it.
Yeah. Well, you know, a dog's life is very interesting. I did not know that dogs were into real estate, but apparently this German Shepherd decided to sell his $8 million mansion. Can you believe that?
Are you messing? A German Shepherd sold his mansion?
Yes.
How is this dog living better than me? He has a mansion? What are you talking about, Trent?
Well, he got a mansion down in Key Biscayne, Florida. You know
what does this dog do for a living? You know, is he a lawyer? Is he a successful doctor? How did this dog get a mansion? I'm so fascinated by his story, Trent.
Well, the Gunther's Gunther is the dog's last name, and apparently he's got several handlers, and he got a trust. He got access to the handler's trust and took the cash out and decided, why not? You know, I'm going to sell this mansion and get some money for it, because this is 4 generations of handlers. You know, these are 4 generations of handlers. So that he's been able to do that, and apparently the dog was able to sell it, and I don't know how.
I mean, when does this become a Disney picture? You know, this needs to be a Disney movie. You call it the Dog Pound, you know, Money Dogs, whatever. You come up with the title, but a dog that sold a mansion, and now, you know, who knows what that dog is spending money on. He might own a baseball team for all we know, or an NFL team. This is a rich animal, and I'm jealous. I'm jealous of this dog, Trent.
He'll the home, by the way, sold for $32 million, according to the article. It sold for $32 million, a mansion down in Key Biscayne, Florida. But the article did say that the dog will miss the view of the bay from Key Biscayne, Florida. He'll miss that area. So, wow. What can I say except what is this world coming to? And the author of the article wrote that the dog wanted to make sure to take advantage of the hot real estate market because the real estate market is hot right now.
And
so he is.
And just to give a little, the real estate market is hot right now. Yeah, yeah. I mean, whether you're a human or a dog, you have to take advantage of the hot real estate market that's out there right now, especially in Florida. But this is pretty interesting. I just pulled up that the story that you're reading, that this dog they're claiming is from a long line of dogs bequeathed the fortune of a German countess. So, man, oh man, I wish that I could get the fortune of a German countess. How does that happen?
I don't know, but these dogs got it. So maybe just for being good-looking dogs, that's how that could have happened.
Unbelievable. And apparently, the mansion that they sold, it had purchased from Madonna. The Madonna, the Material Girl. This was actually once Madonna's mansion, Trent, that this dog somehow owned and was able to sell. The pop star Madonna, she's the Material Girl, Vogue, strike a pose, there's nothing to it, Trent, and sell your house and your mansion to a dog. That's what Madonna did, and I guess, and this dog that had all this money from this German countess made what did you say, $32 million?
Yeah, the home sold for $32 million.
This is an odd story. How is this even possible? That's what you get on the Super Radio Brothers. Is there a better newscast than this? I think not.
That's subjective.
No. I think it's fact, Trent. You look it up. It's a fact. It's out there right now. And it's also, I don't know if you know any young children, Trent, but they all have English accents now.
Yes, I have two sisters that are quite young.
And they both talk with proper British accents.
Occasionally, whenever they do their British accents, they talk pretty well.
Unbelievable. Well, how about this? They're saying that is taking place because there's a popular children's television show called Peppa Pig. And
Peppa Pig.
Children loved the Peppa Pig. And they were really into it during the lockdown. And they've developed British accents and started using British terms like mummy and give it a go. And
give it a go. I like it.
Give it a go.
Do they say rubbish at all whenever they talk about
rubbish.
Trash?
It's a ton of rubbish. I'm sure there was a Peppa Pig episode about rubbish. I'm sure. So, hey, this is a trend going on here, Trent. A lot of young kids developing English accents. And, I think I'm a big James Bond fan, so I think the English accent sounds cool. Bond, James Bond. How can it be any cooler than that? And
I like I have an uncle that's from the UK. He's actually from Wales. I don't know if you know where that's at.
Oh, yeah, it's in the UK. I'm sorry.
Thank you. But yeah, it's he's kind of in the south. I think it's like the south central part of the country, or something, or around that area. But yeah, he's from Wales, over in Great Britain, and man, he loves. He does he's got an accent, and he actually teaches my sisters, because my sisters would whenever they watched Peppa Pig, they would come over to his house and they would teach my Uncle Andy what they knew, and then my Uncle Andy would just add to that training and continue to teach them even more. So they got a double dose of it because we have members of our family who are British, at least one.
Bloody hell! So much British in your family, Trent.
I know.
And also comment on how amazing my accent is. I do it. I know. You're impressed. My English accent.
There are times whenever I talk to you, I want to say bloody hell.
That's my tagline, Trent. I have that copywritten. I think nobody else can say it, so you gotta be careful.
Copyright. Yeah. And do you whenever you have a team that obviously the Yankees aren't doing much losing right now, but whenever they do lose, do you or no, I should say whenever the Jets lose, do you say bloody hell?
I was gonna say I have plenty of teams that lose, Trent. Don't be clouded by the success the Yankees have. All my other teams suck.
Yeah, the Jets. Like every time the Jets lose, are you the type that, especially whenever you know that they were gonna win that game, or whenever you were like, oh man, they had a chance to win this and they didn't? Are you the type of person that goes, oh bloody hell, my team lost?
No, the language is much more colorful than that. Believe me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, trust me, I'm not surprised.
I can't say the things that I say after some Jets losses here on this show.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, let's. You can spare me from that. That'd be great.
You don't want to hear it. Believe me, it's kind of like poop pee. It's terrible. You don't want to hear about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you can get yeah, a lot of kids watch. Do you know anybody that watches Peppa Pig?
Freya does, but she has not developed an English accent yet. It's still more like a roo roo. That's so.
Okay.
Yeah. What else you got, Trent?
Okay, I got this right here. Everybody's under some stress every now and then, but you know what happens? Apparently, in Turkey, there is a Turkish stress coach that allows his clients to hit them. Yes, you heard that right. To hit him whenever they are stressed and whenever they have sessions. He claims that most of his clients have the strength of women that are like 13 and 14 years old, which is very stereotypical. He's very stereotyping.
What is he saying? Like these little girls can't hurt me type of thing?
Oh yeah, he's one of those guys. It's like, oh, he's not worried about getting hurt. And apparently a lot of people are really benefiting because I've heard testimonies. I read testimonies in this story that said, when women or not just women, but when everybody's there, they feel a lot better after hitting this guy.
He must be a real asshole. I can't wait to hit this guy. He's such an asshole.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
think about it. I understand the therapy aspect of it, but if you're working with a therapist and the guy is genuinely likable, how do you hit that person? I wonder how that therapy actually works, how it goes. How does he convince you, take out your aggression, your anger, and hit me? How does he convince them that that's going to make them feel better? Because it's not the same hitting a nice person as compared to hitting the person you actually want to,
Right. It would be different, like hitting you, would feel rewarding at times. Because I'm sorry, I hate to say that. I'm not trying to be mean, but it's true. I mean, sometimes it really would. It just depending on the day.
Oh, believe me, I get it, Trent. People want to hit me all the time. I know.
Yeah. Could you just say some of the most outrageous stuff sometimes? You just never know. Well, you never know.
But I'm always right. That's the problem, though. I'm always right. It's
so, but no. I mean, you do boxing. I mean, you do 10 rounds of a simulation a lot of times. Whenever you're doing that, I mean, I know that a lot of times you love hitting that punching bag whenever you're out there doing a simulated boxing match. That has to make you feel better.
Oh, yeah, there's nothing like it. I think, first of all, there's no better cardio in the world than boxing. Boxing's incredible cardio, constant body movement. You're using your legs and your arms and your hips and everything. So, and then hitting the bag is, talk about a stress reliever. It does feel good to hit the bag, no doubt.
Oh, yeah. And, yeah. I understand that, but that's what it is. If you want to go and you want to relieve some stress off, I
don't think this dude would want me to hit him though.
No. He would not be saying those comments that he did earlier about these people can't hurt me because they have the strength of teenagers and whatnot. I think he would regret it if you ended up hitting him. If you slapped him in the face, I would be relatively concerned for this guy's health.
Poor guy. Well, I guess he's doing good work, right, Trent? That's the most important thing. He's doing good work out there, making people feel good about themselves.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, let's look at it that way. And finally, I got one more thing here for you on the news, Trent. How about this headline? Check this one out. You'll dig this one. Everybody will. New baby's name is so bad. So bad, Trent. The new baby's name is so bad that a nurse calls child services.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She wait a second. We got to get the authorities in here because this is an abomination. That's how she felt right there. So
I'm interested. What was the baby's name?
What was it, right? That's the big question here. What was the baby's name that caused this nurse to spring into action? And that name was Trent. And would this cause you to spring into action? Here's the name. Child. They named their child. Are you ready, Trent? Why don't you take a guess? What would be so horrible that you'd have to? What would someone have to name their baby?
Rich.
That's a good one. Good job, Trent. No. They named the kid Monster Galileo.
Huh?
Monster Galileo. So
yeah, I would wonder that. Somebody's got some issues.
Yeah, Monster Galileo. Someone take this kid away from their parents right now. They don't deserve to have a kid. They just named that kid Monster Galileo. So
yeah, I mean, can you imagine the kid being made fun of at school, talking about, oh, your name is Monster, you're a monster, literally and figuratively. Like, can you imagine when that kid gets older, he's going to be made fun of not just in middle and high school, but even in adulthood too.
So apparently, the parents wanted to name their child Monster Galileo, and the nurse pleaded with them, "Don't do it. That's so stupid." I don't know if that's what she said, but that's what I would say. And when they wouldn't budge, she called child services. But the parents persisted, and apparently now the little monster now goes just by Galileo. So, okay, that's fine. But you know what? That wasn't even the worst name mentioned in a recent post on Reddit about different crazy names that nurses found people trying to name their child. How about this one? This one's good, Trent. Different nurse spoke about parents who attempted to name their daughter Latrine.
Latrine?
Latrine.
Spell that for me.
Latrine. Latrine.
Huh. I've never heard that name before.
Well, it's not a name, Trent. A latrine is, unfortunately, the hole in the ground that soldiers used to shit into. So it's a latrine. Oh, it's an outhouse. It's where people take shits in.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the mother was horrified by that knowledge, and she changed her daughter's name to Katrina. So
there you go.
Katrina better than latrine.
Yeah, Katrina is 100 times better than latrine.
You poop in a latrine. You don't want to name your kid that. Come on. How about this? Another nurse, she says she had a couple who wanted to name their son Colin, but they wanted an interesting, clever way to spell it. So they told them on the birth certificate, spell it COLON, which of course spells colon, as in the organ attached to your anus. And
yes.
When the nurse explained it to them, they were painfully embarrassed and asked her to write down on the birth certificate the normal spelling. And
I have a friend of mine named Kellen. He's like Kellen. He's a good guy. But a lot of times when my phone, I will, I use voice text because I use Siri on my iPhone, and so whenever I voice his name, whenever I address him in a text message by his name, it often writes, "Hey, Colin," or something like that. Just for whatever reason, I don't know why it does that, but that's just what it made me think of. It just it seems like voice text will call people who are Kellen or Cullen or something, whatever his name is, Colin. Seems like that's what they would call him.
A couple of other notable mentions: Killer, wanted to name their kid
Wow.
Killer. Syphilis, that's a good one. This is my kid Syphilis. And finally, Sweet Prayer Sunrise. That's a good name. Sweet.
That's
Prayer.
an interesting one. Speaking of names, whenever I was born back in 1998, July 25th, by the way, is coming up. My
I think you
birthday's
mean
coming up.
1958.
Well,
48.
People have said that I have an old soul, so I take that as a compliment. People say that I have an old, mature soul, and to be honest with you, instead of being insulted by it, which I'm not, I'm the polar opposite. I take that as a compliment. It's very honorable that anybody would say anything like that to me.
Yeah, my soul is really old. I've lived at least 100 different lifetimes. So
right, but the maturity level's not there.
Reincarnated. Well, there are things you lose between lives, you know. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But anyway, whenever I was born, a month or so before I was born, my grandfather said that, hey, Jessica's, my mom's name is Jessica. He said Jessica's pregnant. She's gonna have a boy. And he said, one of the ladies at work that he worked for asked him, said, what will the baby be named? And he came back with, you ready for this? Tobias McCormick.
Tobias McCormick. It sounds like you should be a constable or some type of law. This is the great detective. You're like a Sherlock Holmes type of name. I like that. That sounds pretty badass.
Tobias McCormick. And whenever I was young, my grandfather would just annoy me and call me, hey, Tobias McCormick, how are you?
Remember that time Tobias McCormick and Sherlock Holmes teamed up to solve the great mystery of the murder of Sherlock Holmes' greatest adversary, Moriarty?
Yeah.
That was a great story. I enjoyed it.
Yep. So
I'm a big Tobias McCormick fan. Big time.
I'm glad to hear that. Well, my name is Trent Ferguson, obviously, but I was going to be named Tobias McCormick, according to my granddad back in the late 90s.
Oh, yeah. Tom Brady has TB12. You could have had Tobias McCormick, TM, trademark. Enough said.
That's right.
Because you are your
yes,
TM,
thank you very much.
Tobias McCormick. I like that. I'm kind of with
me
it.
too.
It's almost as good as my RC3. I might use that here and there.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it's pretty great, I think. Top of the line, catchy, amazing. But Tobias McCormick's pretty good too. That's not bad. I got a couple other. How about And then I was looking at this trend. There are a couple of crazy names out there from celebrities, like Kim Kardashian named her daughter Northwest. How about that one?
Huh.
Northwest. I'm gonna name.
Oh!
You get it now. Explain
yes,
it. Explain it to me. I don't get it.
You don't get it? Kim Kardashian and Kanye West?
Where's the North come from?
I don't know, but I know where the West comes from.
Yeah, West makes sense. The North, Northwest, and then of course the craziest one to me is Elon Musk, right? What he named his kid, and I don't know. There were some numbers in there, some letters, and a symbol, and I'm like, what
basically,
is it?
There was an algebraic expression in there.
Yeah, I'm like, well, what does he think his kid is? R2D2 or some kind of Star Wars character? So I'm looking at this name and I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Maybe you're supposed to say the number different from the number, but so I got a robot, Trent, to tell me how to pronounce Elon Musk's child's name. You ready for this? This is
yeah, play it.
Here you go. Are you ready, Trent? Do you want to know what this kid's name is?
I do.
I don't want to know. Maybe I won't play it. No, I'll play it. Here's my robot. You ready?
X-A12.
That's his kid's name.
Huh?
Did you get that? Here you go. Here, listen again.
X-A12.
X-A12.
X-A12?
Ash, I think. That's what I'm hearing. Ash. X-Ash. H, which is what the symbol is, the symbol looks like a combination of an A and an E. But it's X and then the symbol and then A-12. and it's pronounced
X Ash A12.
So there you go. That's his. Would you name your son Trent X Ash A12?
Not even close.
Yeah, I know. I would name my son X Ash A13 for sure. That's where I would go. So, yeah, it'd be a little different, but I think Elon Musk, he must be onto something there. People.
Oh, without question.
I mean,
he always is.
He is innovative, right?
He did by Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. In 20 years, everybody's kid's gonna be X-57. That's the future of names. You just don't know it yet, and you're making fun of this guy, but he's ahead of everything. He's Elon Musk.
That's right.
Isn't it? I mean, think about it. That's Elon Musk. So clearly, we should get ahead of it and name
he's ahead of the game.
Yeah. That's the way it goes.
Super Radio Rundown.
Super Radio Rundown. Oh, what a week it was in the world of entertainment. I am getting excited, Trent. We are about a week away from the release of Thor, Love and Thunder, exclusively in theaters on July 8th. And I am excited for the new Thor movie. So that's about a week and a half away.
Are you going to opening night?
Definitely opening weekend. I'm not sure about opening night, but definitely keep an eye out for that Super Radio Brothers review video that we'll be putting up on our social media, YouTube. Check it out, like it, and subscribe, of course, on YouTube. Trent, you've already done that, right? I'm sure.
Oh, sure.
You better not be lying to me. I'm gonna go check it.
Oh yeah, I'm subscribed. Yeah, absolutely. How could the co-host of Super Radio Brothers not be subscribed?
That's
to the
what
channel?
I'm saying. That's it. Thank you, Trent. Anyway, Thor is on a quest for inner peace. He's retired, and his retirement is interrupted by a galactic killer known as Gore the God Butcher, who seeks the extinction of gods. To combat the threat, Thor enlists the help of King Valkyrie, Korg,